Some mornings, I woke up and did not know what I did the day before. I opened my eyes and stared at the ceiling, but the room felt far away. The white walls, the soft curtains, the glass of water on my nightstand, everything looked normal, but my mind did not feel normal. My head felt heavy. My thoughts moved slowly. Simple memories slipped away from me before I could hold them. My name is Cassidy. I was 35 years old, but I felt much older. I used to be a freelance photographer. I used to notice small things. Light on a window, a hand on a coffee cup, a smile that lasted only 1 second. I used to see the world clearly. I used to trust my eyes. Then I started losing everything. I lost my keys in the bathroom cabinet. I lost my wallet under the guest room pillow. I lost my phone one afternoon, and Vaughn found it inside the fridge. I stood in the kitchen and stared at it. The phone was cold in his hand. I did not remember putting it there. "I am so sorry," I whispered. Vaughn smiled with sad, soft eyes. "It is okay, sweetheart. You are not doing this on purpose." That made me cry harder. Because he was right, I was not doing it on purpose. That was what scared me. Vaughn was my husband. He was 42 years old. He was calm, handsome, and very respected. He was also a clinical psychologist. People in our town loved him. They called him patient. They called him kind. They said he saved families and helped broken people stand again. When we went to dinners, people touched my arm and said, "Cassidy, you are so lucky." When we went to charity events, older women looked at Vaughn like he was a saint. "A man like that is rare," they told me. I believed them. I believed him too. Vaughn told me I had severe anxiety. Later, he said it could be early onset cognitive decline. He explained it in a gentle voice, like every word could hurt me. "It is still early," he said one evening in his study. "That is good. We can manage it. But you need quiet. Real quiet." I sat across from him with my hands in my lap. I tried to understand, but the words felt too big. "Am I losing my mind?" I asked. He came around the desk and held me. "No, Cassidy, not if you let me help you." So I let him help. He said, "My photography work was too much for me. Too many clients, too many emails, too many places to drive, too much stress for my weak mind." He did not say it in a cruel way. He said it with care. That made it easier to obey. At first, I told myself I only needed a break. I would stop working for a month. Then I would pick up my camera again. But 1 month became 3. 3 became 6. Soon my camera sat in the hall closet with dust on the strap. Every morning, Vaughn gave me a white pill. "Your vitamins," he said. "They support your brain." The bottle had no label. He said he ordered them from a medical source he trusted. I swallowed one after breakfast while he watched. Soon after, my body became heavy. My eyes burned. I moved through the house like I was walking underwater. "These make me tired," I told him once. He touched my cheek. "That is your body relaxing. You fight yourself too much." I nodded. I wanted to be a good wife. I wanted to be easy to love. Then he spoke to my family. He called my mother. He called my sister. He told them I needed peace and privacy. He told them too much contact made me worse. My mother called me after that. Her voice was soft and afraid. "Honey, Vaughn knows what he is doing," she said. Please listen to him. My friends texted at first. Luna texted the most. Luna was my old friend from college. She was strong, loud, and honest. She wrote, Cass, call me. I do not like this. Vaughn saw the message. He did not get angry. He never raised his voice. He only sighed. Luna has always been intense. I worry she will upset you. She cares about me, I said. I know, but care can still hurt. I looked at the phone. My hand shook. Maybe he was right. Luna always made me feel too much. Anger, doubt, hope. Maybe those feelings were dangerous now. So I stopped answering her. The house became my whole world. It was beautiful. Big windows, pale floors, white walls, a garden full of roses, a dark wooden library with tall shelves. Everyone said the house looked peaceful, but peace can feel like silence when no one hears you. I stopped driving alone. Vaughn said I might forget where I was. I stopped going to the store alone. He said I might lose my purse again. I stopped checking my bank account. Numbers made me nervous, so Vaughn said he would handle everything. He loved the word safe. Safe routine, safe people, safe home, safe choices. I thought safety meant love. I thought love meant control. At dinner parties, Vaughn answered questions for me. If I looked confused, he touched my shoulder and smiled at the guests. Cassidy has good days and hard days, he said. People looked at him with pity and respect. They looked at me with kindness that felt like shame. What a devoted husband, someone said once. I smiled because I thought I should. Inside, I became smaller every day. One night, I sat beside Vaughn in the library. He read a medical journal. I watched his face in the warm light. He looked so calm, so sure. I felt lucky and guilty at the same time. I am sorry, I said. He looked up. For what? For being like this. He closed the journal and came to me. He kissed my forehead. My poor Cassidy. You do not have to apologize for being sick. Sick. The words settled over me. I leaned into him and closed my eyes. I wanted his arms to feel like home. I wanted to trust the man everyone called an angel, so I trusted him. I trusted him when he said I was unwell. I trusted him when he said my memories were wrong. I trusted him more than I trusted myself. That was how I became a ghost in my own house. Not all at once. Slowly, quietly, a lost key, a missed call, a pill in my palm, a camera left in the dark, a friend left unanswered. Day by day, the world became blurry. Day by day, Vaughn became the only clear thing in it. And I thought that meant he was saving me. The day everything changed began like any other day. Vaughn packed a leather bag for a medical conference in Chicago. He wore a dark blue suit and silver cufflinks. He looked clean, sharp, and important. You will be fine, he told me at breakfast. I prepared your meals. Your pills are in the kitchen. Do not push yourself. I nodded and tried to smile. He watched me swallow the white pill. Then he kissed my forehead and left. The house became quiet after his car pulled away. Not peaceful, just empty. I stood in the kitchen and listened to the hum of the fridge. The pill sat heavy in my stomach. My mind already felt soft at the edges. I walked into the library because I wanted a book. I did not know which one. I just wanted something in my hands. The shelves reached from floor to ceiling. Vaughn loved that room. He said books gave a home dignity. I reached for a large art book on the top shelf. My fingers slipped. The book fell hard to the floor. The sound made me jump. It hit the wooden base of the shelf, and something behind the shelf shifted. At first, I thought I broke something. I bent down and pushed the book aside. Behind the lower shelf, near a small crack in the wood, I saw a black shape. I froze. It was small, flat, almost hidden. I pulled it out with 2 fingers. A memory card. For a long moment, I only stared at it. My heart beat hard. It was from one of my cameras. I knew the shape. I knew the brand. I had used hundreds of them. I did not know why it was behind the shelf. My first thought was simple. Vaughn would know. I should call him. Then another thought came, small but sharp. No. I took the memory card to my old laptop. It sat in a drawer in my office, unused for months. My hands shook as I opened it. I found a card reader in a box with old camera tools. The laptop took a long time to wake, like it had slept through my life. When the folder opened, I saw video files. One file had a date from 2 years before. I clicked it. My own face filled the screen. I almost closed the laptop. The woman in the video was me, but she did not look like me now. Her hair was loose and bright. Her eyes were alive. She wore a green shirt and stood in my old studio. Sunlight came through the window behind her. She held a camera in one hand and spoke fast, with clear joy. "I think this project will be the best work I have done," she said. "I want the photos to show women at quiet turning points in life. Not perfect moments, real moments. The second before they decide to choose themselves." I stared at her. She was not confused. She did not look weak. She did not pause to find words. She laughed at something off camera. Then she looked into the lens again. "Cassidy, remember this," she said. "When you are afraid, look closer. The truth is always in the details." My breath stopped. I watched the video again, then again. The woman on the screen was me, but she was not broken. She was sharp. She was warm. She was alive. When did I lose her? How did I become this quiet, frightened woman in gray clothes? I looked around the office. Dust covered the desk. My old prints were stacked against the wall. My camera bag sat under a chair. For the first time in many months, the room did not look like a place I had left behind. It looked like a crime scene. A cold feeling moved through me. Not fear, doubt. I did not trust myself fully yet, so I decided to test the world. I needed proof, something small and simple, something Vaughn could not explain away with soft words. That evening, I found a piece of red thread in my sewing box. It was bright and easy to see. My jewelry box sat on my dresser. Vaughn often told me I left it open. He said I forgot to close it almost every week. I did not remember doing that. So I closed the jewelry box. I tied the red thread around the tiny handle and around the side hinge. If anyone opened it, the thread would break. I took a photo with my phone. Then I placed the phone under my pillow. That night, I slept badly. My dreams were full of doors and hands and white pills. The next morning, Vaughn came home before breakfast. I heard his key in the front door. My body reacted before my mind did. My shoulders dropped. My face became soft. I moved like the old Cassidy, the confused Cassidy, the one he expected. He walked into the bedroom while I sat on the edge of the bed. "Good morning, sweetheart," he said. "Good morning," I answered. He looked at my dresser and sighed. "Cassidy," he said gently, "you left your jewelry box open again." My blood turned cold. He came closer and touched my arm. "Your memory is getting worse. We may need to adjust your care plan." I nodded. "I am sorry." He smiled. "No shame. We will handle it." After he left the room, I walked to the dresser. My legs felt weak. The jewelry box was closed now, but the red thread was broken. One small piece hung from the handle. The other lay on the dresser, like a thin line of blood. I had not opened the box. He had. I sat down slowly. Something inside me went very still. For months, Vaughn told me I misplaced things. He told me I forgot conversations. He told me I left drawers open, moved objects, lost items, mixed up days. But what if he moved them? What if he hid them? What if he built the fog around me, one little lie at a time? I thought of the phone in the fridge, the keys in the bathroom cabinet, the purse under the guest room pillow, the camera placed too high in the closet, the emails that disappeared, the calls I never received. I ran to the bathroom and locked the door. I turned on the sink so he could not hear me breathe. I opened my phone and searched the word gaslighting. I read for almost an hour. A person lies to you again and again. A person makes you doubt your memory. A person moves things and says you did it. A person makes you feel crazy. A person becomes the only one you trust. I put one hand over my mouth. It had a name. What Vaughn did to me had a name. But there was more. The pills. That morning, when Vaughn gave me my vitamin, I hid it under my tongue. My heart beat so hard I feared he could hear it. I took a sip of water. I pretended to swallow. Then I walked to the bathroom and spat the pill into tissue. It sat in my palm, small and white. I looked at it for a long time. The next day, I told Vaughn I wanted to walk in the garden. He said fresh air was good, so he let me. I kept my face blank. I moved slowly. I acted tired. But under my sweater, I carried the pill in a small plastic bag. Vaughn had a call with a patient at noon. I heard his study door close. I waited 3 minutes. Then I took my purse and walked out the side gate. My hands shook the whole way to the pharmacy. It was small and local, owned by an older woman named Mrs. Grant. She knew Vaughn, of course. Everyone knew Vaughn. I almost turned back. Then I remembered the woman in the video. Look closer. I showed Mrs. Grant the pill. "I need to know what this is," I said. She frowned. "Did your doctor prescribe it?" I swallowed. "Please, I can pay for a private lab test." She looked at my face for a long moment. I do not know what she saw. Fear, maybe, or the last piece of me asking for help. She nodded. "I can send it out." The results came 4 days later. Mrs. Grant called me from a blocked number. Her voice sounded careful. "Cassidy, this is not a vitamin." I gripped the phone. "What is it?" "It is a strong sedative. Prescription grade. It can cause confusion, memory problems, heavy sleep, slow thinking. It should not be taken without strict medical supervision." The room tilted. I sat on the floor before I fell. She kept speaking, but I heard only pieces. dangerous, not labeled, illegal, need help. I thanked her. My voice sounded calm, too calm. Then I ended the call and looked at the wall. Vaughn was not saving me. Vaughn was poisoning my mind, not because he hated me. That would have been easier to understand. No, Vaughn liked me weak. He liked me afraid. He liked being the great doctor, the perfect husband, the patient caretaker. He did not love me. He loved the power of having me broken in his hands. The truth did not make me scream. It made me clear. For the first time in a long time, I did not cry. I looked at my reflection in the dark phone screen. My face looked pale. My eyes looked tired. But behind them, something old had opened. The fog was not mine. The sickness was not mine. The shame was not mine. And if Vaughn built my cage with lies, then I would leave it with proof. A normal woman might scream at her husband. She might throw the pills in his face. She might call him a monster and demand the truth. But I was married to a respected clinical psychologist. Vaughn knew the language of the mind. He knew how to sound calm when he lied. He knew how to make fear look like concern. If I confronted him without proof, he would not panic. He would take my hand, lower his voice, and tell people I had a severe episode. They would believe him. My mother would believe him. My sister would believe him. His friends at the hospital would believe him. The town would believe him. So I did not scream. I acted. Every morning, Vaughn handed me the pill. Every morning, I placed it on my tongue and pretended to swallow. Then I went to the bathroom and spat it into tissue. I hid the pills inside an old film canister in my camera bag. The first 3 days were hard. My body felt strange without the drug. My head hurt. My hands shook. I slept badly. Vaughn noticed, of course. "You seem restless," he said one night. "I had a bad dream," I whispered. He touched my forehead. Poor thing. I looked down so he would not see my eyes. By the 5th day, the fog began to lift. Colors returned first. The yellow lemons in a bowl, the blue line on a coffee mug, the deep green leaves outside the window. Then sounds became sharper. Vaughn's shoes on the stairs, the click of his study door, the small pause before he lied. My mind did not come back like a sudden light. It came back like a house after a storm. One room at a time, I started taking notes. At first, I wrote them in a small notebook and hid it behind a loose board in the laundry room. Then I decided paper was too risky. I bought a hidden voice recorder online using a prepaid card. I had cash from an old envelope in my desk. Vaughn had missed it because he thought I no longer had the sense to hide anything. The recorder looked like a simple pen. I placed it in my sweater pocket during our evening talks. Vaughn liked those talks. He called them grounding sessions. We sat in the library, and he asked me questions in a soft voice. "Do you remember what happened today?" he asked. I lowered my head. "Not very well." He sighed with gentle sadness. "That must scare you." "Yes, and when you are scared, who helps you?" "You do." He smiled. "That is right." The pen in my pocket recorded every word. Sometimes he said worse things, quiet things, things no one said in public. "You cannot manage life without me, Cassidy." "I know," I whispered. "Your family loves you, but they do not understand your condition." "I do." "Yes. Luna would only confuse you. She always wanted control over you." I nodded. "You are safest when you listen to me." Behind my blank face, I counted his words like evidence. I also took photos. I picked up my camera again in secret. The first time I held it, I almost cried. The weight of it in my hands felt like a piece of my old body returned to me. I stood in my office with the door locked and looked through the lens. The world narrowed into focus. I photographed the pills. I photographed the bottle with no label. I photographed the broken red thread. I photographed my jewelry box, my moved keys, drawers left open after Vaughn entered the room. I photographed my bank papers, which showed transfers I did not approve. I photographed my old emails and the messages Vaughn had answered as me. I did not just want a story. I wanted proof. Then I contacted Luna. It took me 20 minutes to type the message because my hands shook. Luna. It is Cass. You were right. I need help. Please do not call. Text only, she answered in less than 1 minute. Tell me where you are. Are you safe? I almost smiled. That was Luna. Straight to the point, fierce as ever. I told her pieces at first. The red thread, the pills, the lab test, the recordings. She did not question me. She did not say I misunderstood. She did not tell me Vaughn was a good man. She wrote, I believe you. I stared at those 3 words until my eyes filled with tears. I believe you. No one had said that to me in so long. Luna was a paralegal. She knew lawyers. She knew documents. She knew how to move quietly before a dangerous person understood the game had changed. Over the next 2 weeks, we made a plan. I sent her photos through a private email account. I sent copies of the recordings. I sent the lab report. She helped me contact an attorney in another city. The attorney told me to keep gathering evidence and not warn Vaughn. She also told me to secure money. That part scared me most. Vaughn controlled our accounts, but some money legally belonged to me. Old savings, photography income, a small inheritance from my grandmother. Vaughn had moved most of it into joint accounts, but not all of it. Luna found a way. Quiet, legal, careful. We moved my portion out in small steps, not enough to alarm him at first. Then, when all documents were ready, we moved the rest. Luna arranged a safe place for me in another state. A small apartment under her cousin's name. Clean, quiet, far away. Each night, I lay beside Vaughn and listened to him breathe. He slept deeply, peacefully. He thought he owned the room. He thought he owned the house. He thought he owned my mind. I stared at the ceiling and made lists in my head. Passport, cash, camera, laptop, lab report, USB drive, clothes, phone charger, birth certificate, medical records. My fear became useful. It sharpened me. I learned Vaughn's routines again. Monday gym at 6, Tuesday late patient, Wednesday hospital board meeting, Friday lunch with doctor, Mead, Sunday morning medical journal at the kitchen table, 2 cups of coffee, no phone calls before 10. Sunday would be the day. I chose Sunday because Vaughn loved control, and Sunday made him lazy. He believed weekends belonged to him. He believed I was most weak in the morning. He expected me to shuffle into the kitchen in soft clothes, confused and grateful. I let him keep believing it. The night before I left, he found me in the hall, near the closet. My camera bag sat open at my feet. For 1 second, His eyes changed. A flash of suspicion moved across his face. "What are you doing?" he asked. My heart kicked hard. I let my shoulders fold inward. I made my voice small. "I thought I saw my blue scarf in here," I said. "But I forgot what I was looking for." His face relaxed. "Oh, Cassidy." He came closer and closed the closet door for me. "You are tired. Come to bed." I nodded. "I am sorry." He kissed my hair. "Always sorry. My poor girl. My poor girl." I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because he had no idea. The next morning, I woke before sunrise. For once, I did not feel lost. I knew the day, I knew the time, I knew every step. I dressed in silence. Black pants, white blouse, dark jacket, low heels, clothes I had not worn in over a year. Clothes that fit the woman in the video. Not exactly. She was gone, but something stronger stood in her place. I packed one suitcase. I placed my camera over my shoulder. I put the USB drive and lab report in my bag. Luna waited in a rented car 2 streets away. The airport ticket sat in my email. Italy, Amalfi, a place I had once dreamed of photographing before Vaughn made my dreams feel childish. I looked in the mirror. The woman there did not look healed. Not yet, but she looked awake. Vaughn sat at the kitchen table when I walked in, just as expected. A medical journal lay open in front of him. His coffee sat to his right. Morning light came through the window and touched his silver watch. He did not look up at first. "You are up early," he said. Then he saw me. His eyes moved from my jacket to my suitcase, then to the camera on my shoulder. His face went still. For one perfect second, Vaughn had no words. I almost enjoyed it. Then he became the doctor again. His voice softened, his head tilted, his eyes filled with false concern. "Cassidy, sweetheart," he said. "What is this?" I placed my suitcase beside me. "I am leaving." He stood slowly. "No, you are not well enough to make that choice." I looked at him, really looked at him, the great doctor, the saint, the perfect husband. He seemed taller to everyone else, but that morning he looked small. "You are having an episode," he said. "Sit down. We can talk through this." I did not sit. He stepped toward me. "Cassidy, you are confused." "No," I said. My voice did not shake. "I am awake." His face tightened. I opened my bag and took out the lab report. I placed it on top of his medical journal. Then I placed the USB drive beside it. He looked down. I watched the color leave his face. "That report identifies the pills," I said. "The USB has recordings. Your words, your threats, your little sessions. It also has photos and account records." His mouth opened, but no sound came out. I continued. "The medical board has this file. My attorney has this file. The police have this file. Luna has this file. If anything happens to me, more copies go out." His eyes lifted to mine. For the first time, I saw fear, real fear, not concern, not sadness, not the careful mask he used for the world. Fear. "Cassidy," he said softly, "you do not understand what you are doing. I understand everything. You are making a mistake. No, Vaughn. I made a mistake when I trusted you more than I trusted myself. His jaw moved. He searched for the right words. I could almost see his mind working. He wanted to pull me back into the old pattern. Poor Cassidy. Sick Cassidy. Confused Cassidy. But proof sat on the table between us, and proof did not care about his voice. You will ruin me, he said. I looked at him and felt nothing warm. You did that yourself. For a moment, neither of us moved. The fridge hummed. The coffee cooled. Outside, a bird called from the garden wall. Then he whispered, I loved you. I almost believed that once. I almost let that sentence break me. But not that morning. No, I said. You loved control. You loved being needed. You loved making me small. He stared at me like I had become a stranger. Maybe I had. Or maybe I had finally become myself again. I picked up my suitcase. If you come near me, contact me, follow me, or send anyone after me, I will release everything. You will lose your license. You will face charges. And every person who called you a saint will hear your real voice. His hands rested on the table. They trembled. The master of calm had nothing left. I walked past him. He did not stop me. At the front door, I paused for 1 second, not because I wanted to look back at him. I wanted to look at the house. The beautiful house, the safe house, the cage with roses outside. For years, I thought that door kept danger out. Now I knew it kept me in. I opened it and stepped into the morning air. Luna waited in the car 2 streets away. When I got in, she looked at my face and did not ask too many questions. She only reached over and squeezed my hand. You did it, she said. I looked out the window as the house disappeared behind us. Yes, I said. I did. At the airport, I expected to feel afraid. I expected to feel lost without Vaughn telling me where to stand, what to eat, when to rest. But I did not feel lost. I read the signs. I found my gate. I bought coffee. I held my passport in my own hand. Small things can feel like miracles after someone steals them from you. When the plane lifted into the sky, I looked down at the city. The roads became thin lines. The houses became small squares. Somewhere down there, Vaughn sat in his perfect kitchen with proof of his crimes in front of him. I did not wonder what he felt. His feelings were no longer my prison. I flew to Italy, not to meet a man, not to hide in another person's arms, not to replace one caretaker with another. I went because, once, before the fog, I wanted to photograph the Amalfi Coast. I wanted cliffs, blue water, old stone steps, lemon trees, and light that changed every hour. So I went. The first months were not easy. Freedom did not fix everything in one day. I still woke at night with my heart racing. I still checked my purse 3 times for my keys. I still felt shame when I made a mistake. Some mornings, I cried for the woman I lost. But each day, I chose myself in small ways. I chose my breakfast. I chose my clothes. I chose which street to walk down. I chose when to answer my phone. I chose when to rest. I chose when to pick up my camera. And slowly, those choices built a life. 1 year later, I stood on a cliff in Amalfi with my camera in my hands. The sea below me shone bright blue. The wind moved my hair across my face. A small village climbed the hill behind me, full of white walls and flowers. I looked through the lens. The world was clear, not perfect, not painless, but clear. I took a photo of the water, then lowered the camera and laughed. No one stood beside me. No one told me where to look. No one told me what I remembered. No one handed me a pill and called it care. I was alone, and I was happy. I used to think I needed someone to take care of me. I thought love was a safe house. I thought love meant giving someone my fear and letting him decide my life. But Vaughn's house was not safe. It was a cage. I did not find a new savior. I did not find a new man to rescue me. I looked in the mirror and saw the woman he tried to erase. Then I reached for her. I believed her. I saved her. I found love within, and it was the greatest love of all.